And welcome back to another GSA SMO any percent league race. Today with Melee versus Scrublord. I think we might still have some wrong names right there. But we actually have Kobe versus Cartoon Buffoon. No, we actually have Chaospringle versus Stravos. I can't believe this is actually happening. Now, obviously, we do have Chaospringle versus Stravos right now. Pretty hot matchup, actually. Debating is over. I'm really excited for this one, and I'm joined by Cheese James on commentary as well. So, what do you think about this matchup, man?
I think it's gonna be a very hype race. Both these runners are very, very high skilled. They definitely know what they're doing with this game, and I think it's gonna be a very intense race.
Yeah, for sure. As far as being rusty and being on fire goes, I'd give it to Chaospringle. Obviously, Chaospringle is arguably the favorite to win the entirety of the league. Just recently got an insane PV 10024. Most people consider him the clear favorite to win the leagues. I would maybe agree, but it's not like he's untouchable. There have been races where they actually ended up losing. So we'll see. Stravos, on the other hand, he's known to have insane race times. So whatever happens, if anyone can take a game of Chaos, I think it would be Stravos on one of his super sane runs that tend to happen, actually.
Yeah, and I believe Chaos just recently won the last any percent tournament as well.
Exactly. That obviously would favor him again, but then Stravos, pretty sure he won the first one. And obviously has been doing well in the World Peace Tournament, so he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. As far as full runs go, he also has recently broken the 101 barrier, so he has been getting that 100 time. Definitely hyped for him about that. I think it was a 100.53 or maybe 50 flat, as far as I can tell. He just recently actually brought up to me that he's pretty happy with this time and it feels pretty hard for him to improve. So he's going to try out a new approach as far as running goes and just mainly focusing on playing well instead of actually improving that time. But yeah, I'm hyped for this one. Anything could happen. Chaospringle, in my opinion, the favorite here, but we've seen how Wooded can treat races. We've seen how Mech can treat races. So we can call favorites, but we can't predict the outcome for sure.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen some crazy stuff in previous Odyssey races, so we cannot predict anything at this point.
All right. And with that, we are on our way to start this one of Stravos with some shaky camera movement right there. Might be a little nervous. I kind of like predicting these things. Usually they don't mean anything, but it's kind of nice to see sometimes. It definitely, I do think runners tend to shake their camera and use first person when they're tilted. That usually happens when they miss like a phase in a boss fight or like an obvious mistake happens. This is where you'll see like camera shaking happening. But I think this was just that he wants to start, he wants to get going. And he is holding onto a little bit of a lead here. It seems like going into the bridge cutscene.
Yeah, it looks like Stravos might be like a little bit less than a second ahead, but it's Cap Kingdom. It doesn't really matter too much at all.
Doesn't too much. And it's fair to say, though, I think many people have actually brought up to Chaos that since he is the best runner of this game right now and his PB seems so good, that Cap Kingdom might be something that he wants to be working on in the near future, just because these other high-level runners have like a second better as far as the Cap Kingdom like gold goes, or like the average goes. So it is still, like a second actually means something these days, which is kind of crazy for this game, but it is true, so it might be interesting for him to look at. But Stravos messing up left side, which that will lose him way more than a second. It's kind of unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I think messing up left side is the biggest mistake you can make here in Cap Kingdom.
Absolutely. And Stravos actually going for that spin through strategy, not able to hit Topper on the head. Heads are flying all over the place, but wasn't able to actually get the hit in. So Chaos will be getting, I guess, around like a 6 second lead. We actually will. It might be actually less. Missing left side with the way Stravos backed it up was just fine. We are probably looking more at something like 4 seconds here, 4 to 5.
Yeah, it looks like Chaos got a 222 cap exit, and Stravos got a 226 there, I believe.
All right. And with that, we are in Cascade Kingdom. FMS is on our hands, and I'm actually interested to see if Stravos would be willing to go for the wall jumpless version. I know Chaos has been switching back and forth between wall jumpless and the wall jump version. Let's see, this looks to be a wall jumpless attempt, and he will be getting it, which is very nice. This is a lot harder than actually going for the wall jump. Stravos setting it up as well, and actually taking a bonk there. This is going to be a pretty big timeless, probably around 3 to 4 seconds again. So he backs it up with the wall jump strat.
Yeah, Stravos messing up some of the bigger strats here right at the beginning and losing just some unfortunate time.
Yeah, once again, not the end of the world. This is early game stuff. But yeah, this is a tough call. If you want to go for that strat and save that additional second over skipping that wall jump, you can be heavily punished because it's just so much harder. That wall jump version of the first moon skip is a very, very simple strat these days. Way easier than what the first moon skip used to be. But if you want to save some additional time, you gotta go for the wall jump this version. And Chaos actually making it work.
And it looks like both runners are going to be finishing up this boss right here and going to be moving on to the final 2 minutes of the kingdom.
Yep. Chest clip, another thing on our hands coming up soon. Usually the last thing that can potentially change the pace of a race at the end of Cascade. And it's interesting to see now, because this is such a quote-unquote high-level race that these tiny little things is actually what runners are looking at now. Because if this is your first time watching the GSA, SMO, any percent league, in this league, obviously you get rewarded for winning, and winning is still what we, I mean, obviously we want players. This is what it's all about. Like, if you win, you get points. This is pretty standard stuff. Actually 40 in this case. But there's an additional pool of 20 points that runners get rewarded with, depending on how well they do. Looks like Chaos will be getting the chest clip here. Let's look, before I finish the explanation, let's see if Stravos is going to be able to make that work as well. Also going for the fast version of chest clip, and will be getting it as well. Very nice. But there's an additional pool of 20 points. Runners get rewarded depending on how well they do. So you can actually type in !leagues to be able to find a table that really shows how that 20-point pool kind of gets distributed depending on how the result of this game is. But if, let's just say, if Stravos was able to have a really close race and just barely lose, he would still get a major part of that 20-point pool. And if Chaos would, for example, crush him, then Chaos would be getting maximum points. By like 3 minutes, he would be getting 59 points, and Stravos would only go home with 1. But if you want to see the exact distributions again, just type in !leagues, and you'll be able to find that table.
But both runners are moving on to the Sand Kingdom now.
Coming in hot. Yeah. Chaospringle already starting it up. It's already done with that dialogue and about to start off his movement. Stravos still has to skip some cutscenes, and then he will be on his way as well. I'm expecting pretty much everything here. I'm expecting double clips. I'm expecting Ice Dram from Stravos. Chaos will probably be sticking with his dram. I mean, not his dram, but the original. And I feel like that's actually kind of smart. There have been even faster drams that people have been looking at now, where you basically skip that long jump and just roll on that roof before you go to the dram section. Maybe that's something to actually focus on now, but not for now, especially not in a race, and especially not while we have other strategies that we can go to save some time, like that wooded piranha moon skip. I'm excited to see if Chaos might be going for that as well later on.
But both runners are coming up to the Archway Moon, and they're going to be setting up for a dram strat. Yeah, it looks like Chaos is just opting for the regular dram. Nothing too special there from him.
Oh.
Ooh, Chaos actually missing it.
Unfortunate there, maybe an unintentional motion control input that makes him capture that bullet bill early, and this is actually going to be quite big. If Stravos is able to get that right now, and it looks like he will, that ram alone is actually going to allow him to take the lead after bonking on... Oh wait, Chaos? Oh, that was actually a good call. That bullet bill would have died on him. Yeah, I mean, it was actually a good call that he was reacting to this in time, because that bullet bill wouldn't have made it to the pillar. It was like out of the cannon for quite a while, so if he committed on that one, he would have just fallen like in the middle of the desert. So good call, actually.
Yeah, and then he wouldn't have been able to get that pillar moon at all.
Yeah, exactly. You need a bullet bill kind of to reach that. Unless you try to like get world peace and get Glidon in there, but that's not what we're trying to do here. Stravos actually struggling quite a bit to clip into the swings. Still not in the wall yet. He gets it there, but Chaos does get it first try, almost expecting that from him now. So this is almost tight again as they are about to leave the swings room. Looks like both of them get some nice amount of coins. Nice double clips coming from both of them. Chaos still holding onto this tiny lead that he basically just got through that clipping section.
Yeah, it is pretty close right now. I would say within like 2 or 3 seconds. Any mistake at this point kind of matters.
It's very interesting to see both of them with some pretty optimal captures here. This bullet bill might actually change up the lead, because it looks like Stravos gets the cleaner line here. If he's able to skip Jaxi just as fast, and looks like he is almost catching up. This is almost a sync happening here. Just a tiny bit behind, but Stravos almost missing that dive. Could have actually fallen into the poison there. Ends up saving that, but still losing a little bit of time.
Okay, both runners moving on to the Oasis now. Going to be grabbing the Ground Pound Moon, the Bird, and the Notes. And then we're going to be heading out of here.
Bird cycle looking kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Really goes to show that Stravos lost a little bit more time in that after swings section. But actually kind of plays in his favor right now, because the moon was closer to him, so he didn't have to actually move that much. Still incredibly close going into nodes, and optimal nodes might seal the deal. Chaos actually having a little mistake. He has to spin throw again. I can't really tell yet who's ahead. Ooh. Oh my god, this is Curbs versus Stravos all over again. It's not that synced. We'll see it, and then fade out here in sand. Who gets the better rolls? Globe first for Chaos, and this is Stravos actually missing that spin throw, so it's not going to be as tight, but very close exits here for sand. Alright, and Lake coming up next, and I'm at least assuming Lake clip out of Chaos. I'm not sure how consistent Stravos has gotten on that Lake clip. He has been messing around with it very early on, but it's always a difference between doing ILs, testing with the clip, and obviously doing it in actual speedruns. Getting some subs here. Pork Jam supporting the GSA leagues literally live on stream. Those new hot notifications sliding into the gameplay feed. Right, Chaos already on his way to roll. Over there, Stravos actually not getting an optimal roll angle.
And I'm going to say both runners heading down the zipper here. Going to be grabbing the zipper moon before attempting late clip. We'll see if either of them opt to do that. Looks like Chaos is opting for a late clip here. And Stravos is just opting not to do it entirely.
Wow, interesting. So Chaos very quick. Only has to throw Cappy one additional time to make that work. So he can be happy about this clip. Will be saving time for sure. We'll see how much it actually will be. Obviously, he will be getting that Cappy warp text right now, which is going to help him later on again when he goes into Metro Kingdom, where he won't have to deal with that Cappy warp text. He's also probably going to be switching to Joy-Cons right now to gain access to that down throw strat that he's about to do pretty much now. Also gets that one. And now Stravos will be off fighting Rango the boss, and Chaospringle will be getting 3 additional moons, and then he will warp back. I'm pretty sure he will probably be looking at like around a 10-second lead leaving Lake, unless there's anything that causes him a lot of trouble here, which I don't really can see, which I can't really see.
Chaos going to be grabbing this pillar moon here, and then he's going to be grabbing the secret lady moon inside the town here, and then he's going to be warping back to the Odyssey. Oof. And struggling to get that RCJ there, roll cancel jump.
Well, good stuff here from Chaos. Warping back to the Odyssey right now. Stravos is kind of warping. The multi-moon is flying, but that won't help him to actually come out on top. Mario makes this little dance move every time he gets a multi-moon, which actually makes that boss even slower. And this will cause him to come into this cutscene a little bit behind. We will be able to see an exact difference, but then once again, there's a little bit more time saved to be had for Chaos later on in Metro. But right now, probably looking at around 5 seconds, 4 to 5 seconds, and then those additional around 2 later on in Metro. So we could say 7, but we have no idea how the race is looking at that point, obviously.
But both runners are moving on to the Wooded Kingdom here. Probably the scariest kingdom for races, where if you make any mistake on this nut clip trick coming up, you could be losing upwards of like a minute or maybe even more.
Yeah, for sure. And let's see, Wooded obviously has been pretty big in these races. We've seen top runners in this league already miss nut clip. This will probably be a thing forever. As long as this route is a thing, people will be missing nut clip. This is pretty much our synced moon grabs here. Literally synced. That was actually perfect sync, but it was 2 different moons, obviously. But yeah, as long as this route is a thing, people will be missing nut clip. This is kind of, I'm trying to think of like a similar trick, maybe like lobby BLJ, but it's really not because it's like a different rhythm. But this will always be an infamous trick that you can just miss on attempts forever, as long as this route is a thing, which I'm assuming this clip has to be a thing forever. It's just too good for any percent.
Yeah, nut clip definitely being one of the biggest time saves in the entire run. So I doubt it'll get removed or changed anytime soon.
Chaos coming up there. Shadow is aligned and he will be able to get the clip. Looking good for Stravos, but sometimes this is kind of, you kind of get baited there. But looks like he will be able to clip as well. Fast out of bounds movement coming from Chaos. Stravos just as fast. Very nicely done. Still hanging in there. And it's just about... as close as it gets almost here in Wooded. We've seen obviously even closer. Actually, we haven't. Rarely. In the race between Stravos and Curbs, actually Curbs ended up missing that exact clip, but we are gonna be staying close for the longer. Pretty much 1 moon apart. Not even. Also, by the way, interesting to tell that none of these runners decided to go for the Piranha Story Moon skip. We've seen, I think, Equan attempted and actually getting it successfully as well. So that's a time save that you can go for. Suicaiga actually going for it last race, but then not getting the nut clip, so he was actually unable to kind of complete that route, and ended up having an additional moon, which almost might have caused him to lose the race. Would it once again really being such a detrimental part for this route in this category.
Yeah, but both runners are moving on to a Flower Road skip after this Story Moon here. Let's see if both of them can get it cleanly here. Looks like it... Ooh, actually, never mind. Chaos struggling with that. Opting to go for... Yeah, Chaos opting to go for a second attempt here. And it looks like Stravos got that first try.
Ooh, Stravos with the signature roll cancel jump over towards that crumbling tower nut. So he's still going, dude. He's creeping. Chaos is still holding on to a little bit of a lead, and it's once again maybe worth to say that that might increase in Metro if they were to play basically on the same frame. Then he would just basically be gifted 2 seconds, around 2 seconds in Metro, just because he wouldn't have to deal with that Cappy warp text. But other than that, this is pretty much as close as it gets. About to climb that tower here with the uproot, and then Spirit Skip will be on our hands next. Potentially, actually, also deciding a little bit. Oh, wait, that is actually so uncommon. Chaos really making some mistakes he's not known for at all. Like, something like this is something you usually don't see from him. And this is actually going to cause Stravos to take the lead. For a little bit, at least.
Yeah, all things to miss to change the lead.
Oh, Chaos heading to dive there as well, so Stravos playing that strat a little bit better as well.
Ooh, I like that nut bust from Chaos. That was pretty hot.
Stylish, stylish. Now flooded pipeway coming up, and I can recall Stravos saying that this is something that he hasn't messed up in months, and actually he hasn't been messing this up. I've actually tried to look at this room a little bit closer when I'm watching Stravos because he has been so confident in it, and it seems like he really does have the skill. This might be the beginning of an insane commentator's curse right now, but looks like he will stay true to his words and actually get this again. It's rare now to see top-level runners mess this up, because usually top-level runners even used to be good at this room previously because it was part of the any percent route obviously before. But this is actually probably one of the hardest subrooms in... Now that I'm thinking of it, there isn't even that many subrooms you go in, so it might just be the hardest subroom of any percent to like learn. Because looking back, there's some snow subrooms, but I think this might be still the hardest subroom to learn. Like pretty technical. It's known now. People know how to do it. Wait, what happened? How did Chaos get the lead? Oh, the warp text. Wait, what? Did Stravos like touch a checkpoint? I think Stravos might have touched a checkpoint on the tower, and so he got the warp text there. Probably. I mean, that's probably what happened. And so now that warp text is out of the way, I'm looking actually at the restream again just to make sure, because otherwise I can't really explain what happened there. That must have been it. And Cloud coming up, obviously. No, okay, as it looks like Stravos was maybe expecting the text, he was just a little bit unsure on that warp. I don't know what really happened, but that was weird.
Yeah, I remember Stravos just taking a second to warp there. I don't know what happened to him.
Oh, actually, also looks like he dropped some frames there. So maybe that was what happening. So it's not even our fault for missing some things. Might have just been like technical issues. But well, with that speculation out of the way, we are still fighting Bowser and Cloud, and this is the last phase coming up.
And both runners incredibly close right now coming out of Cloud. It's very uncommon that we see a race this close coming out of Cloud and lost.
Oh, for sure.
We definitely have a race on our hands right now. Anything could happen.
Yeah, and also noteworthy to say, it looks like the timers are a little bit desynced right now. So if it actually stays that close until the very end, this is something to definitely keep in mind before we call any quick shots on a winner or anything. Looks like Chaos is actually more behind than it seems right now, because Stravos' timer is lacking behind. But for now, Meme Tree coming up. It looks like we actually get the sync back up. So production immediately coming in clutch. Actually, Stravos is still in the lead, which makes sense. Cloud was pretty much identical. He will be grabbing that Moonforce, but literally every small mistake right now would cause him to lose that immediately. Oh, Chaos, that's so uncommon. I'm almost questioning myself if that's actually the right game feed. I actually kind of want to know. That sounds dumb. But for real, like, that's something that I'm not expecting out of Chaos. That's kind of mistake.
You just get some, like, a random guy to play for him.
No, but, like, if that's, like, turned around. Imagine Chaos is actually Stravos. I doubt it, I mean, obviously. But he probably would have said it himself at this point. But once again, this is just, for me, this is not something I commonly see Chaos do. Like, if I watch his runs, obviously there's mistakes. It's not like he's a robot. But these kind of mistakes are the ones I usually don't see.
Yeah, I don't know. He could just be having an off run here. Stuff like this can definitely happen no matter how good you are at the game.
Obviously. Yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just a little bit shocked, which is actually a good thing. That just goes to show how much I respect Chaos as a player and how consistent he really is. Yeah. In my opinion, and pretty much in everyone's opinion. But yeah, Stravos is going to capitalize off of that and is going to be further building up his lead, because that loss was really clean from him. Chaos will also be getting that deathless exit out of the bridge there. And is about to leave Lost himself. with that, we're on our way to Night Metro. Night Metro is recently more interesting to me. I doubt we'll see this today again, but Econ actually already in the league has been showing off a newer strat in the City Hall where you skip a little bit of waiting time on the elevator. That uses some pretty ridiculous movement and only saves around half a second, maybe a second if done really well, but it's absolutely stunning to watch. I know people have been looking, I know also Chaos has actually been looking at it, but Chaos is the kind of guy that usually tends to really look at strats and really think, can I do this now? Is this actually something I want to add? And this is why I'm not expecting it to see today from these runners, but it has been used in this league already, so something to keep an eye open for. Stravos still running, keeping its lead here. And yeah, he will be going for the traditional City Hall movement once again. It was almost unnecessary to hype this up, but this is something to keep an eye open for. I'm really not expecting to see it today. Chaos also just going for the standard movement. But once again, very flashy. Gonna be a thing in the future.
For sure. Definitely with how little time so we have left in the run.
So yeah, exactly. Kind of want to get everything we can. But obviously still trying to balance human reaction time in, which is still a thing. And some of these strats are pretty ridiculous. It's not they're undoable, but doing a ton of them in a 1 hour run can be super exhausting. So we'll see about that. But right now Stravos is starting off the Mecha Wiggler fight. Pretty notorious for him to have pretty decent ones, actually really good ones rather. So I'm excited to see how he can react to his pattern. Chaos actually missing one of these shots there. Has to take an additional one. Oh, camera shaking coming in. I predicted it at the very start. This is what happens, man. If you make one tiny mistake, like missing a shot, the camera, people start shaking their cameras. It's true. We're getting the pattern reveal right now from Stravos. Really nice position there to fire in as much as he can. But the pattern actually really annoying. He's able to deal with it decently well, but that Wiggler was pretty much just one giant ball. So it was really hard for him to actually land those shots. So it was actually, yeah, quite unfortunate pattern.
But it looked like Chaos actually got a pretty decent pattern there, on the other hand.
It looked way better. Alright, Multi-Moon still getting touched at the same time. Day Metro coming up next, and this is probably one of Chaos's biggest strengths in the run. For Stravos, I'd give it. I mainly give him like early game, maybe something like Snow is what he has been, at least an early like researcher of all of the hard strats, and he has been doing them first. So these are like the games where I'm seeing him on top. Day Metro is probably one of the ones where I'd favor Chaos or like Curbs. They are usually incredibly good at these kingdoms. But Stravos has been doing a fantastic job this race so far. Really good stuff out of him. Once again, this worth to note. Ooh, that's unfortunate. I'm not sure how fast he will be able to get a backup in here. This Moon is super annoying to back up. We'll see how fast Chaos can actually catch up just by that. That's going to be incredibly close again, because he actually does get the drive-by strat. And the Metro consistency is showing, coming in hot. Once again, it's noteworthy to say that since Stravos didn't actually get the Capitex earlier, this is something that he has to deal with soon. So there's going to be another magic time save for Chaos rather soon. Good job so far though. Chaos definitely playing the state portion a little bit better, mainly due to actually getting the scoot clip immediately. Pretty big time loss out of that one, if you do tend to fade it. Oh, also losing some momentum here. And now Chaospringle is doing the creeping, coming up rather quick. And we might actually see the lead change after the bases. Like, that's so close that the Cappy Warp Text might do the trick. We'll see.
Yeah, and Stravos messing up that first-person camera pan shot there, so he's going to be losing a little bit of time to that.
Yeah, this seems like this will be exactly enough for Chaos to actually come out on top. If both of them do get the spin pound here, that's actually going to be funny to watch. On the scrap part, we might see Chaos take the lead off of not having the Cappy Vortex. Looks like it's about a second now, so it might be just very, very little difference. But I'm so excited to actually see this. Also, it's actually kind of hard to warp out of this room without the warp text because the warp is so close. These runners are pretty used to it, so we'll actually see it happen. But now Capitec is coming in for Stravos and actually almost warp at the exact same time, so I'm assuming around 1.4, 1.5 seconds between them. Pretty much a synced warp. Oh my god, yeah, this is beautiful here. Very nice sync on top of the roof. Oh, looks like Chaos will actually not be able to open that trash can, so Stravos might be taking a little bit of a lead, but this is awesome.
Both runners almost synced here, going up to the Metro climb here. And it looks like both of them got this climb down pretty solid. No issues here at all.
Yeah, very nice climb. Actually, Chaos not able to get the spin pond, so Chaos might be further building up his lead. This actually saves quite a surprising amount of time, just because you get more airspeed, you can kind of vector towards the moon. Both of them getting that moon with that sniped ground pound, the bullseye, and off to the people's room. Incredibly close still. Oh my god. Stravos still keeping his lead, just touching the timer moon right there. And actually, want to look at coins real quick. Stravos at 94. And this will cause him to actually play Snow a little bit carefully. He will still be able to go to Snow first. There's enough coins on his way until he actually reaches the shop to be able to be fine as far as that shop moon purchase goes later on in Snow. So I'm assuming double Snow, which is incredibly nice in a race like this. We kind of don't want to see that nice sync split up just because of coins. And I'm doubting we will. Stravos doesn't have 100 coins right now, but he will be getting them kind of for free as he goes through Snow.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible to see a race this close all the way up to Snow.
Yeah, this is, now that you say it, this is actually something that I might have not seen. We've seen pretty insane sync for like the entirety of one kingdom, but this has been as close as it gets pretty much since Dram in Sand. This is where really, like, there were only minimal leads between them. Then Chaos was a little bit ahead in Wooded, but this is incredibly close all the way so far.
This could come down to Snowdram. If like one of them misses Snowdram, this could be huge.
Yeah, this is probably the next big thing on our hands. Once again, Stravos doesn't necessarily have to be super careful. I think as long... Yeah, he will be getting these 3 coins. Maybe that cap throw was something that he wouldn't have actually needed. This definitely lost him some time. I feel like he would have been fine just going through the Goomba room and the Blowy Joy room without actually any cap throws. It's fine. It's just some unnecessary time loss, I think, on his part. Still keeping the lead though for now. Oh, unfortunate spin point, not getting that immediately. Making some tiny mistakes that might be enough for Chaos to get this lead back soon.
Oh my god, this is so incredibly close right now going into Shiver. Kind of unreal.
Yeah, we haven't really seen any major mistakes.
Yeah.
To be fair, we haven't actually seen too many minor mistakes. That's even bigger because we've rather seen... Yeah, I actually put it the wrong way. The mistakes we've seen is something like a missed scoot clip, something like a missed flower road clip, which are rather major things. But we haven't seen really many bongs or many movement sloppiness, so that's actually what's making that pretty crazy. Stravos is actually really good at moon clip. I'm wondering if he's going to try it. He will. Oh wait, is Chaos actually going to go for this? Was it intentional? Oh, Stravos getting it. He's also going to be getting to the loading zone. That's really nice to see. Wow, that's actually sick. He is a World Peace runner after all, actually having the world record in that category. So making that work. Oh no! Wow, almost dying to the Blowy Joy there. He's actually able to save that. This is crazy. So right now, Chaos is actually taking his lead back. Incredibly lucky there, I gotta say. For some reason, he didn't get a triple jump. If he could have easily died there. And dying in that room is awful. That usually ends up with another death because the cycle gets all weird.
Yeah, the cycle does not stay the same at all if you die. It actually changes.
Okay, Chaos getting his lead back. Incredible race. Probably my favorite so far in the leagues. We have. This is up there with the big ones. This is actually one of the most amazing races I've seen in a while. Really close, still doable for everyone. Obviously, the snow might be enough to change the lead again. Even though these rooms are rather easy to do, there is some Goomba IG that actually can come into play. But usually you should be fine until Snowdrum comes up.
Oh no, Chaos! Oh my god, that's it! No! Oh my god!
I can't believe it. That's probably literally the biggest commentator's curse ever. I've literally never seen someone die there, like, for real.
The fact that he almost saved that too is ridiculous.
Oh, I wish he would have saved the 2. It's not like it's over, but this is what even was that, dude? I can't even.
Are we sure we're watching Chaos?
Chaos must be having like an off day. But I mean, he just basically confirmed in chat that it is him. We do have the right game feeds here, but wow. Out of all things, Commentator's Curse destroying. I mean, that's not even Commentator's Curse, come on, dude. Like, this room, when do you see people die? And if you see them die to like missing the triple jump, but not there. That's actually hilarious.
Chaos, I think, can still be in the lead if Stravos misses the snow jam, though.
This might be enough already, yeah. This might actually be enough. Wow, what was that? Was he going for like a setup? He was going for like the quick setup that almost looked like no setup at all, which surprised me a lot. He will still be going for another fast one, actually losing quite a bit of time on that missed attempt. Will he be getting the jump? He will. That's obviously very nice. The lead already shrunk just a little bit. If Chaos is able to get this jump, suddenly everything gets a little bit more relaxed. Chaos with the signature Chaos dive, and he will be getting the jump as well.
I think this race definitely still is not over. There's still a lot that can happen, even though Chaos. Sure. Yeah, even though Chaos made that mistake in Goomba Room, it's definitely. Sorry.
No, I was just about to say this is still less than 20 seconds, like easily. 13 was the fade out for Stravos here, and we are going to be looking at like a 22, so 9 seconds. This is still ridiculously close, even with a death, which is actually quite interesting. But yeah, just due to Stravos having an issue there with the Snowdram, this would have probably been like a 15-second lead, but due to making this mistake, this is still super close, and one bigger mistake would immediately tie this again.
But both runners moving on to Seaside here. This kingdom definitely isn't the hardest kingdom in the world, but the first couple moons definitely are a nightmare to do optimally.
However, this usually is Stravi's side. So usually Stravos' kingdom and already shows some pretty niche tech there at the very start to save up some time. Yeah, this is probably his best kingdom, at least used to be in the past, and I wouldn't really see why that would change. Definitely going to be seeing some Flower Rocket refreshes from both of them. But if anyone, then Stravos is the kind of guy just randomly tries to go for like the true frame strat. I would love to see it, but I probably don't want to hype up you guys for no reason. But if anyone, I'd see it out of him, or like maybe Equan. To just randomly try. Maybe Fur. Actually, Fur likes doing crazy strats out of nowhere. Oh, Stravos with the Dory manip. Actually something that is rarely seen and that might lose runners more time than you think. He was intentionally actually looking at Dory there for a little bit. You see Chaos will not be going for this, which makes Dory in kind of a better position. Like, you see her moving right now. She actually wouldn't move if you don't look at her. Usually that manipulation can help you save a little bit of time because she will just be in a better spot between the dangerous Ceiling Moon and the Northern Reaches Moon.
And Chaos not getting Rocket Fire refresh here.
So many uncommon mistakes here out of Chaos. Not trying to flame him, like that almost kind of sounds like him. If anything, I just kind of really, once again, can just say I'm usually expecting literally the highest level of gameplay for him, which makes sense because he's an amazing player. But yeah, Stravos right now playing amazing and keeping his lead. Very nicely done. Stravos do some pretty hot fish movement, pretty much 1 moon apart. So I'm assuming around 11, 12 seconds maybe right now is what we're looking at. This is around what these moons tend to be at, like as far as time goes. But yeah, Stravos, ooh, this is really beautiful to see. Like the way he actually cuts the corners there with the fish, you can really learn something out of that. It doesn't sound like anything crazy, but ends up saving a good amount of time if you actually look at the timings for these moons.
And both runners are going to be finishing up Seaside here. Chaos got to grab 1 more moon, and then they're going to be on to the Luncheon Kingdom. Definitely a kingdom where we could see a lead change.
Okay, 20 globe here for Stravos. Chaos just about to warp, so probably going to be looking at around 15, 13, 14 seconds. One of these is the numbers we are going to be looking at. And with Luncheon being next, this is pretty much nothing. Yeah, 14 is what we are looking at right now. So Chaos finishing up Seaside. Luncheon, once again, it's really hard to call favorites in here. We do have some very high-level runners. Obviously, once again, I think Chaos has been getting some amazing and crazy Luncheons, but right now, today, it's hard to actually say how he's going to do. Has been doing some uncommon mistakes. I feel like if you lack some focus in forks, for example, this can be... Yeah, this can really hurt. Losing some time in the forks room might actually... cause you to lose like 40 seconds if you end up taking a death at the very top.
Yeah, hopefully we don't...
unstressing, but still a lot.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to see that happening at all in this race, and both runners can get out of forks clean.
So Stravos is already off to the fight. Chaos just behind him, actually taking damage, and this is exactly the thing that I was talking about. This is weird. Literally weird to say. And this is probably also like this is where some kind of tilt comes into play, where it's just like, oh man, it just nothing works today, or like right now. And then if you keep playing like that, that can obviously add up. But he needs to get back on track, because right now Stravos isn't making these mistakes, and he's kind of slowly, very slowly, but surely running away with a decent lead. Very good choice there from Chaos to actually take. I was about to say to take the heart, but I just realized he got the moon, so he got refilled anyways. This is something you can do, though. If you get damaged once before this fight, you can grab a heart mid-fight, and you won't have to deal with the damage refill.
Yeah, whenever he dove off Spirit there, I think he thought the fight was over, but it was only halfway through.
Optimal movement for Stravos there, hitting the moon just at the corner. Platform's just about to get revealed. And let's see if he's going to be going for a newer strat there, but it's basically climbing up top. He won't. This is something we've seen, once again, pretty much only out of Econ, who tends to adopt these strats first. You kind of like backflip your way up top and then roll around the little green mountain surface. Once again, minimal time saves, but yeah, these really are what it comes down to now. Stravos actually killing his momentum there with an unnecessary cap throw. Probably not what he intended to do. It's not going to be the end of the world, obviously. Turn it working out nicely. Chaos losing some momentum on that veggie. Actually has to back up that triple jump with some wall jumps. It's still able to get the crate kind of nicely, but once again, losing some time. Actually reacting pretty well with like an interesting backup strategy, but this will once again cause him to lose some additional time. Might be looking at the first, I guess, upset here, even though it's not really an upset. It's not the biggest upset you could imagine, because once again, Stravos has been proven to be amazing in races. But yeah, right now really playing well. Not actually getting that spin pound. Was trying to go for the camera manipulation into the spin pound, but then getting an unintentional spin throw, causing him to capture the wrong fork. And Chaos also missing camera manipulus. And Stravos bonking. A lot of things happening at the same time.
Let's see if Chaos can get a little bit of a better fork swim here than Stravos and make up a little bit of time on him.
so far. Oh my god, actually bonking at the exact same place. Oh
no.
This hurts. This really hurts. This hurts not because of the time he's losing, just because I know how this feels. Stuff like this. This is how this feels. You just lose focus. You just get mad at yourself, and it's so easy to actually lose control there and just be mad at yourself. And this is dangerous in the Kingdom Black Luncheon. Really dangerous.
But Chaos are going for a turnip clip here.
This looks good. We'll be getting that. Very nicely done on that turnip clip. Still can't be really happy about these last events, but once again, this isn't really hurting him as far as like his time loss goes. These are small mistakes, but can kind of mess with your mentality. But this is still easily winnable for Chaos. Let's not forget that. Stravos is pretty much I guess 2 moons now ahead, but these moons are rather quick. But he's about to already go towards that meat capture. This luncheon has been pretty fantastic from Stravos, though, gotta say. Once again, that one bonk in the foreground is the one thing that sticks out, but other than that, has been pretty phenomenal. Alright, Chaos will still be getting that dive. I was holding on to my breath there for a little bit. It was quite low, but still able to get on top of that surface and just capturing the meat now. Stravos is still in luncheon, so he will probably be touching the multi-moon as Stravos is cashing in his moons. But this might be as much as around 30 seconds now. So really building up a very, very tremendous lead over this kingdom.
Yeah, Luncheon definitely hurt Chaos a bunch, giving Stravos a very big lead.
Right, with Ruined on our hands, next, there's only 2 things that can happen. Nothing or something huge, pretty much. That's kind of how Ruin breaks down. Either you'll see like a death at the boss fight, losing you a minute, which you don't really see at all. If you do, it's obviously huge. But if the kingdom plays out as we expect, we won't be seeing a lead change here. And pretty much just spectating some sword throws. But yeah, it's actually definitely worth to go back and say Stravos has been playing phenomenal this race so far. Pretty small mistakes. If I think back, it's like a couple bongs at unfortunate places and the scoot clip fail. But other than that, this has been looking pretty good.
Don't know what Chaos is doing there with his movement up to the pylon. Just losing stupid time, I guess.
Yeah, if that's actually tilt, he definitely, if he wants to win this race, he definitely needs to take it back and run it back. This obviously won't help much at this point in time. If anything, this kingdom is out of any kingdom, this is probably the kingdom that is usually safe from time loss if you just play like you usually do. But right now there's actually an entire phase of that dragon fight between them, which doesn't look that much. They will be almost thrown back at the exact same time, but these fights do actually take quite a lot of time because the dragon attacks twice. Last phase for Stravos here, getting pretty quick. Sword unplugs, I guess, and he's done. Chaos still having to fight that last phase. The last phase obviously being... actually, I don't know if it's actually shorter. It should be, just because the dragon only attacks once. These attacks hover around the arena a little bit longer, but this should still be faster than phase 1 and 2. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's no doubt. Ooh, that's actually an early hit. Oh no, please. This is the one thing that can't happen. I was about to say, because he is gonna get another hit out of this. Just, oh my god, dude, I can't take it. These little thingies. Oh, this is so good. He is able to actually finish off the fight, but this would have been the one thing that would actually seal the deal. That's the mistake you can't make. That's the one mistake in the run that no matter how tilted you are in a race, you cannot make that. Not on the last phase.
But both runners coming out of Ruin to clean and going to be moving on to Bowser's Kingdom, where if you mess up like Mech, we could definitely still see a lead change. Stravos messes up Mech.
Yeah, also shards have been pretty big in some runs recently. We've actually seen a death there in a recent race. So all of that stuff is definitely possible. But Stravos is already in there, and he's about to start off his journey. I'm pretty sure that he won't be messing with... I'm pretty sure both of them won't be messing with that bird moon anymore. This is something that Chaos has considered recently, actually, but probably not on his mind anymore. People stick with the corridor now. It's just the way to... I really don't want to say it's the way to go, because it's kind of personal like flavor of the month almost. But... with strats, we currently know that Corridor Moon is faster. Subject to change, though. So take it with a pinch of salt.
And Chaos accidentally... I think he split there. And actually might hit his foot pedal.
Yeah.
So
can probably undo this at some point in time. Not sure if he's noticed it yet. Will probably. Oh no, he was actually going for that optimal angle right there. Shoutouts to Tish. Okay, that's actually unfortunate. This is actually a strat where you kind of like cut the corners a little bit quicker, and Chaos is having some big issues with that. It was recently brought up to us how free this strat is. Looks like it might not be as free. Because that just... Oh my god. No!
Oh my god!
This is just not real anymore. What am I looking at? I can't really... No, dude, why? This is... I still want to say this is winnable if Chaos actually plays. But what is happening right there? That was really painful to watch.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there either. Something tells me Chaos is a little bit salty.
Man, happens to the best of them. I mean, it's not a good thing, but I say in a league format like this, you can allow yourself to have an off race like this. But, yeah, one story mode apart now is actually going to be quite hard for Chaos to catch up. Unless a big thing happens in Meg. Oh, interesting camera angle there for Stravos. Not even... trying to move the camera at all, and he is going to be able to still make that strat. So that's pretty nice. Oh, no cap return. Okay, that was actually quite close. You can still make that, but if you don't get the cap return there, this jump gets a little bit tighter. So these shots have been looking quite nice. Looks like Chaos might be back on track. Maybe he was just doing this all for show, and he's going to prove us now that Topper first is going to save his run. I doubt it, because it's obviously the less optimal strategy. But we are about to see, because we'll definitely see it out of him. Alright, Harriet already defeated for Stravos, so we might be seeing Topper being fought at the same time. Actually, it's going to be hard, because Chaos still needs to get through that moon here. Stravos might already be done with the boss fights. He is going to be actually turning his camera, not grabbing the moon in time. Super close, very unfortunate. He will now, though.
Oh my god, almost dying. This is definitely a very unusual run from Chaos here, messing up stuff that we don't usually see him messing up.
Yeah, it's hard though. I mean, I gotta be honest. Like at this point, obviously he can still win, and it's obviously very important to say still that the way this league works, it is quite interesting and quite important for the outcome of the league by how much you win/lose by. once again, if you want to get exact information on that point data, and I will actually try to this time tell you guys what the point total will be after this race. It's hard to do math on the fly, gotta be honest. Wow, okay, I was actually disrespecting Topper there a little bit, kind of playing some jump rope game. But yeah, there's gonna be an additional point pool that you get rewarded by depending on how much you lose/win by. And you can find information on that if you type in !leaks. Stravos taking a little dip in the water. That won't hurt him much though, as he's about to grab that corridor moon. Okay. Harriet is up for chaos right now, and Stravos is already making his way up to the mech, which is probably the one big thing that could really mess with his run performance, because he hasn't been really messing around at all. Even though chaos has had some issues with this run, it's not like this has kind of gone over to Stravos. He has been playing pretty phenomenal. However, mech is still between him and a potential convincing win where he could maximize his point gain. But let's see how this plays out. Right now, a very fast climb. Very nicely done. Going for the good old backflips. And usually, this top per spin count is not a problem for them. Commentators score. It's obviously impossible. Nicely done. Harry the third is probably the one thing that could really cause some trouble.
Yeah, falling off during Harriet third could be a pretty big time loss if Stravos isn't able to back this up.
This has actually happened to him in one of the recent... It actually in... was it? In the versus Curbs race is actually where this happened to him, in the frame tie. But right now, he has been getting that spin pound looking nice. Kind of interesting setup for target acquired, but he will be getting it pretty close there on the right side. Still able to make that work though. Chaos getting that camera-less jump, where you don't really have control over the camera. But with this out of the way, Stravos is setting himself up for a pretty convincing win if he's able to actually go through Moon without issues, which we haven't seen. It's not like we haven't seen big mistakes in Moon, but yeah, he's setting himself up for a convincing win if he can keep this going. Nice climb from Chaos so far. That was actually incredibly close. I have no idea how he didn't like bonk at that bubble. I'm not sure. Sometimes this bubble has some weird collision where you can't bonk, but he was kind of glitching himself up there. So good for him, I guess. Gets that done. And about to also try for target acquired.
Okay, getting the ground pound on Harriet very clean there. Let's see if he's able to get the spin pound onto the Spewer. And he is. Both runners are finishing up mech very cleanly.
Target acquired from both of them. So even though the start of both has definitely been quite slow for Chaos, quite literally, he has been getting back on track. So I do feel like even if there's a big mistake out of Stravos, it's not like Chaos can capitalize on it. This is definitely Stravos' race to lose. Anything that could really cause him to lose would be something like a miss to D-skip or any escape mistake. I guess if you add up stuff like really big trouble in the Bowser fight and like a missed moon skip, this can also add up. But it's at this point almost unrealistic to think that, because Stravos is probably going to be looking at around like a 1 minute 30-second lead, maybe like 2 minutes. I haven't actually been able to fully keep track. But right now he's still pretty nice pace to get a pretty solid run in here for his first league showing.
And Stravos is going to be coming up on Moon Cave Skip here. I doubt he's going to have any issues with this. This trick was literally one of the very first tricks discovered for the speedrun.
I'm actually quite careful when Stravos is going for this. Usually, you are obviously right? But if anything, We've seen some mistakes out of Stravos and Curbs and like Sui in these recent races, but obviously shoutouts to Awesome and insane support of the entire Super Mario Odyssey community, hitting us up with that subscription. You can obviously support us with Twitch subscriptions like all other channels. We're trying to build this channel even further. Amazing things yet to come. But Stravos is about to start the Bowser's fight right now. Chaos just entering Moon. So we are probably looking at actually around almost 2 minutes here. Not exactly, but like 1:45 is what is my rough guess. We will actually be able to see. But with that in mind, we will be looking at the point totals obviously at the end of the run because it's not entirely over yet. Escape is still something that Stravos has to deal with, and also this fight.
And Chaos going to be coming up on a Moon Pierce skip as well. I don't expect to see him have any issues with it. And Stravos going to be finishing up this Bowser boss fight here in just a minute.
Yeah, Bowser boss fight about to be done. Chaos is already on his way over to the Cathedral. But Stravos might actually be out of this fight before Chaos is able to start, which is something that is rarely seen. So this is really a pretty nice lead that Stravos was able to build himself up to during the course of this run. But yeah, for now, he still has to go through the escape section. Chaos just starting up the fight, just barely making it in there, into the arena where Stravos is technically still in there. But he's about to head out, start of the escape sequence. And then it's going to be, once again, it's going to be his race to lose. I feel like even a missed 2D skip wouldn't cause him to immediately lose. It would be anything like a final room death. That would be the one thing that he should be scared about when he's actually concerned about losing. But right now, not looking to be the case. Has been playing phenomenal. Pretty confident, obviously, 101 pace still. Like mid 101 even. 2D skip though, on our hands. Could still obviously cause him some trouble if he was for some reason to miss it. Would obviously hurt his point gain really hard, but right now this doesn't seem to be an issue. He gets that nicely.
And Stravos is going to be coming up on the pillar room here. Well, Chaos is about to start up the escape sequence. As long as Stravos pretty much just doesn't die in this room, he should have this race in the bag.
Yeah, and looking at really nice pace too. Looking at like a low 101 pace, which is not that far off of his PB. Once again, he has recently been getting a PB, probably, I think it was a 10050, but this has potential to be like a 10115, which is pretty close to that. Actually having some issues with early pillar, but let's see what he will actually get. Just slightly holding onto my seat because there is still this one little opportunity of him falling down there. As we can see, Chaos already arrived at the escape sequence. So if Stravos was for some miracle reason about to fall here, that would cause Chaos to suddenly take a lead. But this is the last pillar that he's shooting right now. He is falling. He's pretty much safe at this point, clawing in on that final brick here and about to end this run. This is actually looking to be a 101-1x. Something along those lines. So fantastic run actually out of Stravos. Might be the best one we've seen in the leagues yet. Would need some confirmation on this, but actually ending up getting a 101-19. Stunning performance from Stravos in this first one.
Yeah, unfortunately not so much from Chaos. Chaos losing a bunch of time just all over the place in this run.
Yeah, he will be fine though. He will still be probably getting like something along the lines of a 1 or 2, which is still a pretty nice run. Maybe not so much for him anymore. It's still amazing for obviously the majority of the speedrunners that run this game. But he definitely holds himself up for usually higher standards. But then once again, can't really deny the fact that this is a league. So this is not the end of his days. This is not going to hurt him that much. He still has obviously the shot to prove himself against many other opponents, and this is still their first match. Stravos can be happy about this one. We will be able to actually see the full point total as soon as Chaos finishes here. Already got those 40 points in the bag just off of winning. But yeah, depending on how the timer is going to be looking like at the very end here, we will be able to tell the full point gain. And right now Chaos is also clawing in on that final block. Wire is getting revealed any second now. And this is probably going to be less than a 39 if I'm gauging that correctly. So yeah, we are looking at a 1:02:37. So this is... Hello?
Hello.
Oh, it's Chaospringle. What's up? We do have both runners joining us for some post-game interviews. I'm going to be doing some hard calculations in the background to calculate the point gain. But I'm actually, out of all things, I'm really interested, obviously, from both of you. How did this feel? First run of the league. Let's start with Chaos.
Yikes. So, basically what happened in Lost, I forgot what to do for Butterfly. And I was just hung up on that for the entire race afterwards. And then... Dude, in snow, I thought my Goomba was gonna jump off, kill himself. So I was like,
I can see that's actually possible. That's something some people might not know. Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna, hop on him real quick, real fast, and then I just hopped off the edge. Or I think, yeah. So that was great.
You almost saved it too.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, I need to work on that. I need to not get tilted from stupid mistakes at the start.
Yeah, I mean, I can obviously see that. And as I just brought up, this is a league format, so this is not going to be the end of the day. It seems like, as I'm looking at the point table right now, that you ended up losing by less than 80 seconds. So you will still be getting 12 extra points. Stravos will be getting an additional 8, as far as I'm reading this correctly right now. So he will getting 48 out of this one. But let me go to Stravos as well, because I feel like you played pretty amazingly. We had some almost major mistakes, I would say, something like Scoot Clip and some unfortunate bongs. But other than that, this is actually pretty close to VB, I feel like.
Yeah, so a little bit of behind the scenes for you guys. Chaos and I were actually practicing together in a call before the race for a little bit, and we were joking about missing FMS, because what will we do? Will we do wall jumpless or wall jump,
Mm-hmm.
And I think both of us decided we'll do wall jumpless, but
did you not do wall jumpless, Trav?
No, I did wall jumpless. Well, I tried it anyways.
Wait,
yeah, I missed it. So that combined with left side miss, which that was pretty bad start, but it kind of equaled out in sand and kind of stayed really close for halfway through the race. That was pretty cool.
Dude, that call in sand was actually clutch. You would have just crashed and burned and wouldn't have been able to get the moon if you actually took that bullet bill.
Yeah, I had to abandon ship, dude.
Even, I think we got a good example of the time save in Metro for doing late clip as well, right?
Yeah, there was a live comparison. That was fun to see.
We got a really good comparison of moon clip from you, Stravos.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that was almost live as well.
And then I failed in that room immediately. But, we both had.
That could have been worse though. That was a tough call. I feel like this is if you get in this position, sometimes your head hits like the blowy joey, and then you just fall into the poison. So that would have obviously been worse. So a pretty good save actually on this one. And if you consider all of these mistakes, this just goes to show that the rest of this one was a really, really good deck. I'm kind of interested. Okay, Luncheon had the bonk at Fogs, but other than that, I was pretty impressed by the Luncheon, I think.
Overall, I think what got me the victory was just my ability to keep composure during mistakes. I didn't necessarily back them up super quick or anything, but I had a calm mind everywhere. I did my best and didn't let it get to me.
Yeah, exactly. And it worked out well once again, getting some nice points out of this one, 48 there. Chaos still doing well enough, obviously getting 12 extra points, which might matter at the end. So obviously that one moment in Bowser's was just yikes, as you brought up earlier. But what can you do? It was kind of funny. I was quoting Tishul with this strat is free, by the way.
I know. That shot's hard.
It feel like you almost got it. You slid down with the dive. It was kind of weird to see.
Yeah, I was just trying stuff because I was just trying to make up time, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, you guys did fine, and this was a very entertaining race. It was pretty much as close as it gets up until snow. So thank you so much for joining. We, however, will be going into a little intermission. So yeah, make sure to stay tuned for more action. Follow the channel. We will be getting into a SM64 race next, another league race between Rock Chalk and Heisenberger. So everything, don't leave. Watch the hot action live, and thank you guys for joining on the race. Intermission coming in hot, and see you on the next one.
See you guys in a bit. Have a great rest of your night, guys.